Going live. What's up? What's up, family? Chris here. Nice, I'm excited. It's first time going live. So when we're doing this video, is just kind of going over goal setting for the year. It's something I've been doing for the past 3, 4 years. And I figured, you know what? Let me just do it live on video, record the whole thing, upload it. Now, granted, if you're anything like me, I often miss live and kind of watch the recap. So I will definitely be uploading this as a recap. But essentially, the goal here is for me to just kind of show the process I go through and planning things out that I want to achieve for the next 12 months and have you guys follow along as well. So let me just switch to this here. So I'm going to go to OneNote. So that's my go-to, how to put it, my go-to note-taking app that I like to just kind of like brainstorm, let all ideas come out of my mind. And what's great about it is that I can just kind of scroll in any which direction I want. I could start typing something there, start typing something here, start typing something there. So that's pretty dope. Gives you that freedom to do that any which way. So it's like a massive whiteboard, which I love most. So now, if you're following along, you most likely have a copy link of the book. If not, I'll put a link in a link for you to get a copy of the book below. So I'll show you guys a quick little view of the book right here. So I'm going to be following similar steps. I'm not going to be following the book step by step per se. I will be going through some of the things. I'm going to do this pretty much the way I'm going to go through my goals just for the year. So normally I like to plan things out 5 years ahead, but just for the video, I'm going to keep this not too long, somewhat short, and just focus on planning things out just for the year. So I'll give you a quick glimpse here. We got the 3 words of the year that you want to live by, some ideas of questions to think about. So I know sometimes when it comes to thinking of goals, we're not quite sure what to think about. So there's things like what I want to learn for personal goals, what changes will I make towards my relationships, or like how will I be more creative, or what hobby will I start? When you think of your career, it could be things like how much money will career, finance, or business could be things like how much money do I want to save this year? How will I get out of debt? How can I increase my net worth? Is there a way I can increase my value at work? And when it comes to adventure and toy goals, it can be things like where would I travel? What gift am I going to gift myself for achieving XYZ goal? And in terms of contribution, is how can you give back? So I include that inside the book as well, just to kind of give people ideas of things to think about. Because oftentimes being on the spot, it's not always that easy to think about what I want to achieve in the next year. Because oftentimes we don't think too far ahead. We just kind of think about the now. I know a lot of the stuff we're reading about and learning about in terms of just finding a balance in life comes down to being more present and living in the now, which is super important and is so critical to be able to do that. But at the same time, we need to also be able to plan for what's to come ahead. So that way it gives us a sense of more certainty in our day to day. So there's less fear and less anxiety of the future and more of like, all right, I have an idea of where I'm going. I'm going in this path, in this direction. I just need to do X, Y, Z to achieve said goal, to achieve the said destination I'm working towards on my path. All right, so I'm going to dive right in here. So when I think of the year 2021, 3 words that I want to live by. Now, I was thinking about this earlier today, and especially when I was in the shower, because you get those shower thoughts. And my 3 words for 2021 are going to be share, explore, and build. Share, explore, and build. So I'm going to expand on that. So when it comes to share, for me, the goal of sharing more is being able to share pretty much all the information that I have in my head and the thoughts that I have in my head and share with people. So whether it's through video, written, audio, just being able to share more information. Because what I've learned is that sometimes the information you have would be of great use and resource of helping someone else. And unless you're sharing that stuff, that person's never going to get that information. And with my goal being able to help people and be able to help everyone else level up at the same time and just see other people get their wins, is you got to share that information. Like one of the things I got was great feedback from one of the blogs I wrote about getting out of debt. People are like, oh, dude, I had no idea. There's so much stuff to learn about. You made it very easy for me to digest and absorb the information. It was easy to learn. And I thought to myself, like, oh man, I definitely got to share more and like get some of that information out because there's a ton of stuff I've spent consuming content from like audio, podcasts, books, audiobooks, videos, articles and blogs, just constantly consuming. So there's all this information I have in my head that I got to let out and share with the world and share with people. Because you never know, the information you have or the story that you're living or the story that you're going through may be something that someone else needs to hear to help them get out of a bad situation or help motivate them to do better in their current situation. So the second word I'm trying to live by in 2021 is to explore. Yeah, so we're currently on lockdown. Things are a little weird for that part. But when it comes to explore, it's more than just travel. Just kind of explore within myself, explore different hobbies, explore different parts of the city, explore different genres of music, explore different movies, different cultures. There's many different ways you could explore. And it doesn't just come down to travel, although travel would be super dope right now to be able to explore. And having just moved to BC, there are a lot of things left for me to explore. Like today, I'm going to be exploring this thing called a cold water plunge. Excited, not excited, but it's going to be dope experience. And my third word for the year is build. So the goal here in building is one of my big goals is to be able to build a community of like-minded people. And creating a community to me comes down to just having people that have similar ideas, similar goals, that are just being able to help each other out. So whereas if you have a particular skill set or particular information about something, and you know that someone in your group needs that same help, you have that connect. Excuse me. Oh wow. So you have that connect, that resource to be able to tap into that, to have people that are with you that all want to see you win. So my goal is to build a community of people that help each other win. Because at the end of the day, like y'all hear the great stories, people that got tremendous success or made it to the top or got all these wins and they look around, they felt all alone. So I'm like, it's kind of a crappy road to go down if everyone's telling you the same thing, that it's better to do it with others than to do it by yourself. So my goal is to build a community of like-minded people that want to get more, that want to do more, that are constantly looking to learn more information, increase their knowledge of self, increase knowledge of the world, just a lot of like the self-growth and not so much the self-help, but just people that just want to level up, whether it's in your particular craft and skill or in your hobby or just in life in general. And it's a good way to just network and have a connection of people. So those are my three words for 2021. I'm gonna move this back here as a guide. Oh, wrong window. Again, so this being a live stream, you're gonna get all the errors, all the blips, all the mistakes. I just hope nothing incriminating pops up on the screen. All right, so I'm gonna start things off with just big goals. Actually, my phrase that to bigger goals. Boom. So like I mentioned before, when it comes to build, one of the goals I want to have is to create a community. Another goal would be to grow my personal brand. Another bigger goal is going to be have 4 long form blogs on my website, which comes down to share as a nice little side note. And if I think of other bigger goals, it would be more wins. Yeah, so again, it's very vague. A lot of stuff are kind of focused. Again, my bigger goals are just kind of focused to this year right now. I'm not doing a whole 5-year goal thing. This I've done that in the past. So that was maybe my bigger goals. One is to create a community, grow my personal brand. 4, create 4 long form blogs on my website and have more wins. And when it comes to wins, not just wins for myself, but just wins for the people that are around me as well. Because again, if everyone else around you is getting wins and you get wins, that energy just kind of builds the whole group leveling up, and it's a whole like all what's the quote again? All rising tides raise all ships. Something of that sort. You get them. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, so I got the bigger goals set out. I thought everything out for the year. So now's the fun part. I gotta write out my 1-year goal, my 12-month goal. Okay, so when it comes to writing a 12-month goal, before I even start breaking it down into like step by step, month by month, and what skills you need to learn and what you're gonna need to achieve and what milestones you want to have, I always like to write down my 12-month goal in the form of a paragraph. So something I could just read out quickly. So whether I'm walking out the door or I'm just not sitting in traffic, but if I'm just kind of sitting down waiting for someone, I can just kind of look at my phone, read that real quick as a constant reminder of like what my 1-year goal is, what my 12-month goal is. So if I do this on the fly, I'm gonna go with my 12-month goal. My personal is doing no, it's to small brand Oh, community, people. I'm going to switch to visibility. I'm just going to say is to grow my personal brand, to have a community of people all invested in helping each other grow. Yeah, I'm going to keep it that pretty simple, nothing too complex. Vague as it is, the little breakdown step by steps are going to be the part that are really going to help define and make this a whole lot more clear for myself. So now you got to think about what are your top reasons. So it all comes down to what's your why. Now, if you don't have a why, it's gonna be hard to kind of having the whole goal of having your why is that when you get these moments of not feeling as motivated or feeling down your luck or things haven't been going as well, having that why is a constant reminder of why you're doing what you're doing. So whether you're going through good times or bad times, that why will help keep you driven, keep you focused on pushing through those difficult times to get more of those good times later. So my top reasons why is to okay, I'm gonna have to do that now. And the people around me. Other reason is to be able to spread a message of positivity to balance out the negative news. Top reasons why is honestly, I enjoy seeing other people win and see them I just enjoy seeing other people win. Because for me, it all comes down to when people get their wins is just being able to see that other people are getting closer to what they actually want. And if I was able to play a part in that, great. If not, I'm just still happy to see that. Because again, like we're constantly being fed like just all these negative information coming into the news through social media. And it's not to say that the world's all, well, not to say the world's all like negative or the world's all positive. It's that I find that if we have more of that balance, it's easier for us to kind of want to make that change or make that step. Because oftentimes we're going to start doubting ourselves or thinking maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I can't do this. But just having someone who could believe in us, there you go, being able to my top 10 reasons to show belief into others. Oh, I'm definitely exposing my spelling my spelling errors on this live stream. There's no making it pretty here. Um, my top 10 reasons also is to just live life being true to myself, being true to my wants and needs. Like I had a friend who would ask me, like, why do you like what do you get out of seeing other people win? And it's not so much what I get out of it. It's just I know that feeling you have when there's something you want to do or you want to achieve and no one else really quite believes in you. But when you have that one person who believes you and is in your corner, that feeling that person has, like, you know what? Everyone else says I couldn't, if this person's believing me, there must be something about what I'm doing. And oftentimes, that's all people really need to be able to make that next step, to be able to achieve great things, is having someone who believes in them. And I know for myself, I'm very easily self-motivated to do the things I want. I don't often need a lot of external motivators, but I know that not many people in the world have that. But if I could just share the way I'm feeling and a way I can motivate myself into someone else, that's a huge win. That's a great way to give back. And that comes down to also just sharing. Like it's all about giving back into the world the stuff you have. And if you're not giving back, you kind of live a life that's somewhat, I'm not going to say empty, but yeah, empty, empty. I'm trying to live a life fulfilled, not empty. Okay, so those are my top reasons. So then after that, you got your reasons. We're going to break down what skills are going to be needed. Oh man, what skills are we needed? Okay, so when it comes down to skills needed. Okay, so when it comes down to being able to create a community, one thing that's gonna be needed is being able to tell a story, be better at storytelling. So that also ties into being able to create the long form blog post because like nobody wants to read information that's just like data, 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 data. Like we're not reading a journal, uh, a research paper. Granted, like that as dry as that is, I'm trying to make things more palatable and more enjoyable for people to read. And one of the things I learned is that in storytelling, stories become much more easier to remember and easier to learn lessons. Like we all think of the story of like Rudy. He played football, he struggled, he kept working hard, eventually got his chance. Like it's easy to get lessons out of stories like that. So one thing is definitely get better at storytelling. Excuse me. So other skills I'm gonna be needing is improve my writing as I type this up. Um, improve my on-camera presence. Um, control the speed and clarity of my speech. Yeah, so oftentimes when I get pretty excited, I'm just very hyped up, I'll often speed up my talk, and I'm also been known to mumble, as I mumble right there, mumble my words. So my goal really is just kind of focus on improving those things. And all this really does tie into just being able to share more. Because again, in sharing more, I can then help more people and also just help myself at the same time. Because the whole goal in me sharing is to just be authentic. Because lots of times we'll find stories of people or we'll find people that we look up to or people that we go to for information. They seem to have everything figured out. And my whole goal is to share that, like, look, I don't have everything figured out. Like, I'm doing this 12-month goal. I've done this years before. Now that I'm on a live stream, I'm clearly messing up on certain things, but I'm cool with that. It's okay. But it's just to show that, being authentic, being as transparent as possible, not so much I think, but just being transparent and showing that, like, I may slip up, I may mess up, but improving these particular skills will help me be able to better share the story that I'm going through and be able to share other people's stories at the same time. So control the speed and clarity. Skills I'm gonna need. What else is there? Writing, audio, more wins. Okay, so I'm drawing a blank here of what else I could put into there. So this is definitely something I could always come back to later on and fill up and add some more. I don't want to keep this, have you guys kind of here just watching me just kind of twiddling my thumbs and just kind of going the entire time. So I'm gonna move on to the next part here, which is the fun part. So when it comes down is breaking things down in 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, and 1 month intervals. The blueprint breakdown. If you're a hip hop fan, you know exactly where that comes from. 12 months. Let's change that to header number 2. 9 months. Header number 2. 6 months. 1 month. Boom, move that out. Okay, so I'm thinking out, excuse me. So when it comes to 12 months, the big goal is 12 months from now is to be able to have, one is to have 3, backspace that, let me add, there we go. 3 long form blogs. Have content, have video content. Ooh, oh yeah, you're seeing my typos. Created on a weekly basis. I'll rephrase that. Have one video content created per week. Finish season 2 of the Happiness Loves Company podcast. 12-month goal. Must be as more concrete, I'll say. Help 2 friends get their wins for the year. Okay, so I'm gonna have, for 12-month goal, I'm gonna have 3 long blogs, 3 long form blogs. Not from your boy. 3 long form blogs, have 1 video content created per week, finish season 2 of the Happiness Love Company podcast. I haven't forgotten about that. Still just trying to get my questions down together. And help 2 friends get their wins for the year. So that's 12 months from now. So now I got to break things down like, all right, so I got 12 months. That's the big, big thing. Now I got to reverse engineer and go backwards. What steps I'm going to need to get to help me get to that 12 month? Excuse me. Actually, no, I lied. 12 months to have 4. I'm trying to go for 1 per quarter. So 12 months, that's 30 a year. And I'm going to go 3 long form blogs. Have video content created on a bi-weekly basis. Be halfway through the 2nd season of Happiness Love Company podcast. 9 months. What else would I be needing? I'm helping friends, giving back, long form blogs. So I go back to bigger goals is to create a community, grow personal brands. Oh yeah, can't forget that. Share daily on the Slack community. Share daily to the community. There you go. To the community, which is on Slack, which is called the Trailblazer Society. I know, sounds dope of a name. Trailblazer Society. Join now by clicking the link below. Oh man, that's great. So yeah, the goal is to create a community, grow a personal brand, create long form blogs, and more wins, more wins, more wins, more wins. So when it comes to growing the personal brand is reach out to collab with other creators, whether it's video or audio. And with other, I'll put 1. Set the bar low. If I do more than 1, that'd be bless. Reach out to collab with other creators. Have 12 active members in the Trailblazer Society. Yeah, as you can see here, it's pretty simple to break down, right? You start with something that's way, way out. So 12 months out, I want to have this done. Then I got to kind of backtrack and reverse engineer. So 9 months, I went from, for example, I'll use the blogs, for example, 4 long format blogs by the end in 12 months. 9 months in, I want to have 3. So my goal with that particular thing is to write something every quarter. I would like to do every month, but I'm just going to be lying to myself. That's not going to get done. Because the big part, like, I'll be honest, like that blog about getting out of debt took me, I think, over a year to write. A lot of it just came down to like me just trying to figure out how am I going to create the content, like how am I going to share that story. First, I wasn't even thinking about it, so I was just kind of thinking of sharing a bullet. Excuse me. I was just thinking of sharing bullet points, but I'm like, okay, no one's going to want to read bullet points. As much as I love bullet points, that's the type of person I am. I'll go to a blog, give me straight to the bullet points, give me the information I need, and I'm out. But throughout the years of reading many different books and seeing how other authors have done stuff and other creators have done stuff, it all comes down to being able to tell a story. So I could say a good like 10 months was just figuring out how am I going to share this? And when I say 10 months figuring out, it wasn't like number one priority. There were times I completely forgot about that in those 10 months. But then one day just clicking like, oh, I got the story I want to write. So the whole goal was creating a story, but also having at the bottom, at the end of it, just straight bullet point action steps for those that want to get straight to the point and don't need the whole story to get that information. So if I use that goal as an example, I'm not going to be able to do that in a month because I have to go research, go back through some of my apps, find some old files, found some old documents, think back to, all right, what was I reading at that time? What information was I trying to consume at that time? And that took a lot of like just time to figure like, all right, was this blog around? Was that blog around? Did I start with this podcast and lead to that podcast? End up having to find some old receipts, but that's no here nor there. I'm going to dive back into this. The whole goal is that to be able to set realistic and achievable goals at the end of the day, not something that I'm going to try to put out and not get done. Okay, so 6 months to long form blog. I keep writing the word from. Jeez. 3 long form blogs. Have 9 active members in Blazor Society. One thing I can't forget is put content out on social media. That's going to be a big challenge because it's something I'll easily forget. Put content out on social media. Put content out on social media. 6 months. What else am I going to need? Halfway through the podcast. Now, 3 months in, I'm definitely going to need have questions. Completed. Okay, so you're getting a little glimpse of how my brain works, jumping from place to place. Create habit of content creation calendar. Plan out month's content. Create habit of planning the month's content. I'll go with first Sunday of each month. And then so you know what I'll call this? Star new habit. There we go. Star new habit. That way this stands out. Create and schedule content for the week. Excuse me. Sunday morning. New habit. Sunday morning. Routine. Which will include finance podcast. I save that for just Sundays while doing dishes. What else I'm gonna have for Sunday mornings? My usual stretches and stuff like that. Usual morning routine. What else am I like on Sundays? Oh yeah. and in 10-minute meditation. So in the create content for the week, video, captions, thumbnails, timestamps for premium quality tapes podcast. Definitely help that grow. Let me scroll this down some more. Timestamps, thumbnails, video. That means also editing. Schedule uploads. Yeah, planning for the month. Pick theme. That's all I got for that part. So we're going to keep that, put out social content, keep up with star new habit, star. Boom, so that's in there. Let me see how I'm doing for time. I don't want to spend too much time. Okay. Oh, damn, we're 30 minutes in. All right, let's start wrapping this up. This is getting a little long here. So my goal, so if I long form content, have one blog written. One long form blog. Child Builder Society. See me. Interact with, I don't like the word members, but I'll just go with members for now. Interact with members. And I'm just going to add in here an actual block just for myself. Content to create. Video. Responses. Snippets. And videos just kind of me from me exploring my explorations. Written, that'll pretty much just be blog. Yeah, captions, headlines. That's also going to be mean. Hashtags are part of that as well to a certain degree. Audio. That's going to come through podcasts, snippets, and other things written would be for no, that's not gonna make sense. Oh. Content creates, I got videos, blogs, podcasts. A lot of it just comes down to creating. So a big theme comes down to sharing more. And when it comes to explore, I definitely have to add some things in here. I just been focused on the one goal pretty much so much. I didn't want to spend too much time because I could spend like easily 2 hours going over this. So go back from the top. 3 words for 2021: share, explore, and build. Bigger goals is to create a community, grow a personal brand, create 4 long form blogs on website, and have more wins. My 12-month goal is to grow my personal brand, to have a community of people all invested in helping each other grow. My top reasons why is to make a change in the lives of people around me, to be able to spread a message of positivity to balance out the negative news. I enjoy seeing other people win, show belief in others when they doubt themselves, live life being true to my wants and my needs, and just have of my journey. Have a documentation of my journey. So skills I'm going to need to help create more, to be able to share more, would be better storytelling, improve my writing, improve my on-camera presence, control speed and clarity of my speech. Here I got the blueprint, breakdown of 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, and 1 month goals, and content I'll be needing to create. So again, I'm gonna have this all recorded. I'm gonna try to clean this up and get this out to you guys. Once again, thank you for joining me. Peace out, fam. You have an awesome day. Deuce.